Hansi Flick's Barcelona has started the season with an exciting and entertaining style of play, captivating fans and bringing a sense of joy back to the team. After a few seasons of disappointing performances, the club is finally seeing a revitalization among its supporters. So far, those attending matches at Montjuic have plenty of reasons to cheer, as the team has won all 5 of their matches, with 3 of those victories featuring impressive displays of attacking football. In their matches against Athletic Bilbao, Valladolid, Getafe, Young Boys and Sevilla, the Barcelona team left their opponents empty-handed. This perfect record at home is particularly noteworthy as it follows: a challenging defeat to Monaco in a pre-season friendly where they lost 0-3 during the Joan Gambert Trophy. Since that setback, Montjuic has transformed into an imposing fortress where the team has consistently performed at a high level. While as a former Premier League referee, Dean is no stranger to controversy, his quick change of mind on Sunday's penalty decision left fans puzzled in what seems to be a recurring trend for the Tranmere Rovers fan. Mike Dean was on commentary duty for Sky Sports when the original replay of the incident left him convinced that Sanchez had wiped out Jones and that a penalty was the only call needed. He's got the slightest touch on the ball, but momentum has carried him through and he's completely wiped out Jones. However, in as quick a fashion as he made the call, Dean wasted no time rolling it back when he learned it was the subject of a VAR review. MAP has not exactly made a blockbuster start to life as a Real Madrid. On paper, the numbers are good. According to stats from Transfermarkt, he has scored 8 goals and provided an assist in 12 appearances. A number of those goals have come from the penalty spot though. Also, MAP's overall performances have not been what fans would have expected from someone of his reputation. He quite certainly is not playing like the best player in the world. There are fears that MAP's addition to the side might have disrupted the balance that the team had built up last season when they won the Champions League and La Liga double. The shaky performances do suggest that might be the case, at least at this moment. Recent report from Florian Plettenberg suggests that Barcelona midfielder Jamal Musiala is keen to make his return to the pitch for the upcoming match against Barcelona on Wednesday evening. After missing the previous game against Stuttgart due to issues with his hip joint, Musiala is working diligently to regain his fitness. Previously, it was indicated that Musiala had not yet fully recovered from his hip injury. However, following his absence from the Stuttgart match, there is a growing sense of optimism surrounding his potential comeback. Barcelona midfielder Pedri has always been known as one of world football's most magical players. While injuries plagued him until last season, he was exceptional every time he took to the field and has always been one who can crank open defences at his mercy. Under Hansi Flick, however, his role has changed significantly without negating the essence of what makes him special, for he is evolving into a player who is well-rounded on all fronts. Barcelona have been cruising along well in La Liga so far this season, despite their mounting injuries. After getting Gavi, Fermin Lopez and Dani Olmo back for their clash against Sevilla though, Hansi Flick lost Eric Garcia. Garcia was left out by Flick after suffering a tie strain in the warm-up, with Ansu Fati replacing him in the starting XI. MD say he will not be back in time for their clash with Bayern Munich on Wednesday night in the Champions League, but he is still a potential option for their Clasico clash with Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu on Saturday night. Chelsea wonderkid Estevão Willian has broken Neymar's record for the most goal and assist contributions by an under-17 player in the Brazilian top flight, according to journalist Fabrizio Romano. The Blues have a deal in place for Estevão to move to Stamford Bridge next summer, and it's clear they're landing a serious talent as the 17-year-old has broken an incredible record that had long been held by Neymar, who went on to have a great career at the very highest level in Europe. Manchester United's 2 most successful managers of the post-Sir Alex Ferguson era will lock horns when Erik ten Hag's side visits Istanbul to face Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce on Thursday. There is natural intrigue in the Europa League clash as Mourinho prepares to face United for the 5th time since his explosive 2018 sacking. Ten Hag needs a win after overseeing 2 frustrating draws at the start of the league phase campaign, first being held by FC Twente before squandering a 2-goal lead at FC Porto. Manchester City's bench had spilled onto the pitch celebrating John Stones' 95th minute winner, and then its confirmation following a VAR review. At full-time, the City players who have been defending a last-gasp Wolves attack celebrated in a huddle in their own box. There were hugs. Pep Guardiola went around the whole team, and they took in the adoration from their fans. Out of context, you may have thought the win had secured silverware or qualification of some sort, but even before the players were back in the dressing room, the celebrations were over. Guardiola pulled Bernardo Silva for one of his famous on-field coaching sessions, which didn't seem to please the Portuguese, and the mood in the tunnel was one of business as usual. Arne Slot has been nothing if not consistent. The message to his players has remained the same, and the message to the media likewise. Essentially, good start, but we've not played the real test yet. Chelsea, even though it is now 7 points behind Liverpool in the Premier League standings, certainly has shown signs of promise. This was Liverpool's biggest win yet under its new head coach, and it had to fight to the end to get the 3 points over the line. Manchester United are pushing hard to sign Sunderland midfielder Chris Rigg and could lure him to Old Trafford in January, according to reports. The teenage sensation has become the latest to set the championship alight, attracting the attention of INEOS amid a youthful recruitment drive. Rigg has featured in all 10 of Sunderland's championship matches this season, starting the last 9, and has been back for a big move in the near future. Virgil van Dijk has revealed he is in ongoing discussions regarding a new contract with Liverpool, but admitted he remains unclear about his future at the club. Alongside Trent Alexander-Arnold and Mohamed Salah, Van Dijk is one of 3 senior players whose current deal with Liverpool expires in the summer. That has led to a great deal of concern and frustration among supporters, especially given the lack of information regarding attempts being made to keep any or all of them in situ. It will provide fans with some relief, and that the club captain has backed up his stated desire to extend his stay at Anfield with a positive update in that regard, albeit caveating that with some uncertainty. Olmo's lack of participation in this game was somewhat of a surprise. However, SPORT assures that despite his lack of minutes against Sevilla, he will be available for the upcoming 2 crunch ties against Bayern Munich and Real Madrid, and his sensations in the upcoming training sessions will determine how many minutes he will get in these 2 matches. 0 minutes in the last match make it very unlikely for him to start against Bayern Munich. Muscle injuries in particular carry a high risk of relapse, so FC Barcelona will likely aim to reintroduce him gradually. Thus, he might not start in a game that is expected to be a very intense one against Bayern Munich, but he will be a serious option to start the match against Real Madrid on Saturday. Arsenal captain Martin Odegaard remains sidelined with the serious knee injury that he sustained last month. Bukayo Saka is also a doubt. He pulled out of international duty and then missed the weekend defeat to Bournemouth. While Arteta is optimistic that they could be back in action sooner rather than later, the duo are still major doubts for Tuesday's bout. Speaking in his pre-match press conference, the Spaniard said, "They are closer, both progressing well. Martin Odegaard, not fit. With Bukayo, let's see how he is with the training session later on." French football fans were left stunned after Montpellier president Laurent Nicklin announced that he had made the decision to sack manager Michel Zakarian on live television at the weekend. Montpellier have picked up just 1 win in Ligue 1 this season, and their crisis deepened as they were thumped 5-0 at home to Marseille to ensure they remained rooted to the foot of the table. The night got off to the worst possible start for Montpellier, as Marseille forward Eli Wahi broke the deadlock just 44 seconds into the contest at the Stade La Mosse. Mikel Arteta will leave the decision on whether or not to appeal the red card shown to William Saliba against Bournemouth up to his bosses at Arsenal. Saliba saw red after hauling down Evanilson just before the half-hour mark on Saturday's defeat as the Cherry star looked to race onto Leandro Trossard's poor pass back. The Frenchman was initially shown a yellow card by referee Rob Jones. I leave that more to the club to understand the circumstances. They will have to decide it. The Arsenal boss said on Monday, "It is about perspective. We want to win in any context, but the reality is we made it very difficult for ourselves."